Hi everyone, Michael Vosbein from Crescent Cymbals for our very first video newsletter. We've been sending out e-lists for quite some time, but we thought, hey, let's step it up and go video. With me, many of you know from calling in or from trade shows, is my sidekick who happens to be my son, Kevin Vosbein.
Hello, good to be here.
AKA Kevrock. You hate that nickname?
Kevrock, no, that's fine.
You can live with that, right?
It was my email for a long time.
Yeah,
so,
that's how it started. Anyway, Kevin's a guitar player, but he's got some great ears. He can pick out cymbals very well, and I'll always come and check him for artists and stuff, and he's spot on. So he knows the gig, he knows the business. You've been to Istanbul?
I have, just once though. It was a wonderful trip. I hope to go back soon. I was very much taken with the whole culture behind what we do.
That's a good point. There is a culture behind this, isn't it?
I think so.
It's not just that we're making widgets here. This is a fine tradition of handmade Turkish cymbals, extending a legacy that's been going on for hundreds of years. And it overwhelms you when you go there to find that out or to feel that, don't you think?
It is overwhelming, and because to think how the whole production process is more than that. It's these people's lives that they've grown up with for decades.
It's definitely a cultural heritage thing that we're proud to be a part of. So in the first newsletter, we're just going to bring you up to date. The name of our company is actually Cymbal Masters. We were doing business distributing another brand for 8 years and finally made the change to own our own brand called Crescent Cymbals. Same team in place?
It is the same team, same North American team from the last decade is completely intact.
Who does that include?
Well, a lot of people. I would have to put in that category Jeff Hamilton, Stanton Moore, Jamie Haddad, Daniel Glass, Jim White, many other artists around the nation that we've been in touch with and interacting with over the years, as well as some of our good friends in the dealer side of the industry, Jim Pettit, Paul Bailey, you could say, at Seoul in Toronto.
Some great dealers that have been with us for a long time and decided to stay on board with us. They're all listed on our website. A lot of marketing is going to social media. That's one of the reasons we're doing this. We have a Facebook channel. You call it a channel? A page. Well, we'd love for you to like us there. We just hit 14,000. We'd like to get that to as high as we can. YouTube site?
YouTube site. We try to put a lot of compelling content on YouTube, videos that are really driven from an artist perspective.
That's what we shoot for. And then there's Twitter. I feed that thing every day as often as I can. And of course we mentioned the website. Try to keep up with us everywhere you can. We're real easy to get a hold of. You can email us from any of those places. You can post, you can ask questions. We try to be there for you. So since the first of the year, let's say, we've had some major stuff going down. January at the NAMM show, we introduced
the haptic series designed by Jamie Haddad for his, I would say, uncompromising standards. I think he came out with a very interesting series of cymbals geared primarily toward the hand percussion realm of hand percussion. You can take a stick to it as well, but it's really nuanced to fit right in the genre of the hand percussionist.
That's true, and Jamie, of course, plays with Yo-Yo Ma and Paul Simon. He's very serious about this. This isn't a flippant modification of a cymbal. These are made for his specific purposes, and you ought to check them out. The big news was that when we left and started our own company, we found a supplier in Istanbul that we were very happy with, and they've been in business 3-4 years, and in March they decided to discontinue their brand and roll all the forces behind Crescent. So we went to Mesa in April, which is the European version of the NAMM show, the trade show for musicians and artists and dealers and manufacturers and everybody to meet and greet and hang. And we were able to incorporate the prior network that our suppliers had going on all under one roof. And thanks especially to the guys at Drum Center in Cologne, Dieter and Ali, and then some other countries we've been involved with since then.
Sure. good many of them, many throughout Western Europe. Finland, Italy, Spain, Portugal, the UK, just to name some of them. But we are progressing, and we have access to global markets where we had not in years prior.
Japan, Australia. So we're working it globally for you guys, trying to get all of our marketing assimilated and coherent through the rest of the world. That's been a very big development for us. We're also planning on an active fall with some clinics at some of our key dealers, appearance at PASIC, of course, followed with the whole Christmas season and then leading into NAMM. But we're going to try to do these newsletters once a month and intercut it with some cool stuff. And we do like it when artists come to visit. Just the other day, pardon me, we had a visit from our good buddy who happens to live around the corner from us. We met him through the great guys at Classic Drummer. He's got a couple of 100,000 hits on YouTube. Young Phenom, you ought to check his stuff out too. Scott Pryan is his name. And Kevin had a little interview with him a few days ago. He's got a new band going on, and we checked in with him to see what's going on.
Very happy to have Crescent's own Scott Pryan in the studio today. Scott, welcome.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I understand you're in from a recent gig, a major gig last night at the Masquerade. For those who don't know, the Masquerade is a semi-famous rock club in Atlanta.
Yep, it was a sold-out gig. We had 1,200 supporters. It went well, we played well, everything it was a good night.
That's terrific. Tell me about the instrumentation of the band.
Okay, well, the band's called Knee Deep. It's a 6-piece. We've got 2 lead vocalists, 1 male, 1 female. We've got a few guitars because it's a radio-friendly metal band. So
that's interesting. It sounds like a lot of layers of sound.
Oh yeah, a lot going on. We've got synthesizers in the background, the backtracks, and it's going pretty well.
Well, that's terrific. Well, aside from playing in the band, I understand you're very much involved in writing and producing.
Yep, I like to play the producer role, as you said. I'm doing all the synthesizer parts, adding textures, and I'm trying to, when they come up with riffs, I try to put things where I feel they need to go.
So as a drummer / producer, what kind of cymbals would you take on a gig like that?
Well, I've been using Vanguard series. They're relatively thin, but they're giving me the sounds that I'm looking for. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've got right now.
What's in the future for the band?
Well, in October we've got the Kiss Cruise coming up. We've got a few gigs on there, different styles. We're going to do an acoustic set, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be pretty cool.
Sounds like you have a lot of things in the works.
Yep, a lot of stuff going on in the future.
That's terrific. Well, thanks so much for coming by. Very pleased to have you in the studios at Crescent Cymbals.
No problem.
Scott Pryan.
Okay, well, we want to keep this fairly short. We appreciate you watching. There'll be more of these, hopefully every month. And I'm Michael.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're here at Crescent Cymbals, and we thank you for watching. See you on the flip side.